I make a motion, we accept the January 8th and, what's the other date? January 31st meeting minutes as written.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Nope. Any public to speak on a non-agenda item? I don't see any public. No commitments this time. Purchase orders, Keith? No?
No.
All right, let's move on to number 6, abatements, the Dupuy property, Russell Cove. Al, I think Al could speak to this one, because he was in contact with Burgess because of the water reading.
Yep, I talked to Levi when it happened, because we were looking for a water leak, so, he told me what happened, and I also talked to the homeowner, so. And he had a pretty good bill on the water side, so, you know, something happened.
I'd say so.
Ours is big, yours is bigger, I think.
Ours, so I filled the numbers in, so I didn't do that for you guys. But, consumption charge would be 19,000 cubic feet, which relates to, without the quarterly fee, correlates to $1,425.
Where was that?
19,000 cubic feet versus $1,425. So model consumption through a 5-quarter average is 300 cubic feet, or 2250. And then, so through that math, the abatement requested would be 18,700 cubic feet, or $1,402.50.
So,
So a typical bill, so the bill that you should have would be $67.50, not $1,470. Plus interest, whatever interest becomes, if there's interest at this point, which there probably obviously is, based on, we're in March.
so he filled this out, but he left that out and,
Yeah, I put the numbers in,
oh,
yeah. On mine, I
okay.
I have the original.
I didn't give Tracy.
And the billing periods on yours
Correct.
and all that stuff, okay.
10/1/18 through 12/31/18.
What was it again?
10/1/18.
Just for purposes of making a
31/18.
motion, if you make it. So a pipe broke in the wall behind his shower or something, right, Al?
His shower head, where it was, yeah, basically, it squirted out of the shower.
It never went down the drain.
And down the,
Yeah.
just significant damage, from what I
Sounds
understand. And he had to pay the water bill because it went through the meter. Go from 6750 to 1400, that wakes you up from a dead sleep.
So we're abating 1,400, 250 less 6,750, is that
Yeah, so you're gonna,
if we?
you're gonna abate 18,700 cubic feet, or $1,402.50.
14,250.
Leaving a remainder of $67.50.
Okay.
Plus any, say plus interest, but.
So it'd be easier for the abatement just to abate the cubic foot consumption, and you can do the math?
That's,
Is that,
that's fine.
because it's the same thing? Knowing where the water went and what Al talked to Levi about, I'm inclined to abate it. Motion, anybody?
What do we need for numbers on that? You have everything
Oh,
written
yeah.
down, you might as well just
Yeah,
do it.
good point.
I didn't write it down.
All right, I just didn't want to be the only one playing the game. It seems kind of selfish.
You enjoy it.
Okay.
Camera hall.
I make a motion that we abate 18,700 cubic feet of water for the property owner Robert Dupuy, Lot 9, Russell Cove in Rangeley, and that's the billing period 10/1/18 to 12/31/18. Did I leave something out?
Yep, you're-
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor? Yep.
I'm just gonna grab your signature right quick and send it.
That's a terrible signature. What is it?
312. Awesome.
Thank you. Oh, boy. All right, number 7. What's up with the Perry property / motorsports business?
So, until a discussion had taken place between myself and Tom and Rebecca, as of the end of last week, I hadn't received anything from Peter or Mr.
I got nothing.
Matt was his first name.
Dave
Dave O'Brien, Mr.
Uh,
O'Brien. So,
O'Brien. I thought it was Aruda.
O'Brien, yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Through Peter Perry or Dave O'Brien, I hadn't received anything. Through conversation, Tom contacted, actually, take that back. I called Peter Perry. That conversation, I was notified that he had spoke with and given Beth Flynn instruction to update and forward the information to us, and that he was out of town for another 6 or 7 weeks and wouldn't be able to do anything. So Tom, at that point, I told Tom, he contacted Beth Flynn with an email. We got a message back, and within that message, I got an updated plan for the sewer. Now, I mean, essentially, it's just a timestamp to January 22nd, 19. I was a moron and didn't print it out over there.
But we had this
Yeah.
before, and then he didn't pursue it, so they just updated the same plan.
And I didn't receive this until March 10th. So it's a month and 2 days after our requested deadline.
So you got a plan, did you get an application?
No new application. Beth, I spoke with Beth last night. She was here for another meeting. She indicated that she was going to, get a new application and she'll be submitting it. And obviously, I told her if she couldn't find it online, I would feel free to give her one, but she said she could get one, no problem. So at this point, obviously, through conversations with the code enforcement officer, Tom, we are, he didn't meet the conditions of his conditional use permit. Thank you. Plain and simple. However, here we are a month beyond.
There was a few conditions there, right? I mean,
There
that
was.
wasn't the only one. It was the contract with a,
Which I got a verbal on that
okay.
from ETTI. Brian Chase called me. He said he had no problem doing that. No,
Was that the boring?
Boring company.
Okay.
So through that, I took that as progress. That happened in a timely manner.
Yep.
Okay.
Peter did pursue, phone conversations in regards to that up to that point with myself. Made attempts to contact me, but obviously never came forward with the application or the plan. And I would say, obviously, given the timestamp of that 1/22/19, he had contacted Beth, but I think he was relying on Beth to have that done and into us by the 8th, which isn't on her fault, in my opinion. So technically, at this point, obviously, he should be shut down. However, I will tell you that we are on the back burner.
Who's we?
close, the stop work order would be on the back burner right now, based on the workload of the code enforcement officer at this time right now. If you would, you know, get it done, you know, how fast. I don't know how long it takes to
He's
generate the
on
data.
one on emanation in afternoons.
So-
I can't imagine he can't get this done
But he just,
tomorrow.
on his way out today, he just told me that, you know, that this stuff is taking we've known about this for a couple of days, obviously, and, I mean, that the lack of complete documentation, and obviously still hasn't pursued that, and we have way up to on the back burner to the ordinance stuff.
Has M&H or Morrow been contacted, or just this guy that's born under the road?
That's it, that I know of.
And that's what we need, is somebody that was gonna do the work. I mean.
That
I
was
think
part
that's what we-
that was part of John's recommendation that we approve. We don't have a permit to approve or disapprove.
Pretty much what it kind of, obviously at this point, your recommendation, you know, the three of yours, consolidated, oh my God, slow down here. Your consensus tonight, obviously, I'm sure I know what it is, will be put right to the code enforcement officer, and I would hopes that we'll put an effective stop work order on that property. Sure, already been done based on the conditional use permit. However, it hasn't been. Ultimately, the other part of this is, and I'm guilty of this, obviously, didn't have documentation. I'll be honest with you, I wasn't gonna chase Peter around for it. It's not my responsibility to
Nope.
contact you. However, it's the same token, I am guilty of not communicating with the planning board or the planning, code enforcement officer in regards to saying that I didn't receive paperwork and then the business should have been shut down effective the 9th, essentially, of February there. So that's a fault of me there. At this point now, we obviously know we're approaching the end of the season, so I'm curious on what effect our stop work, I mean, I think we still follow through with it, but
We absolutely need to follow.
at what effect?
We can't.
Well,
Unfortunately, it doesn't affect
he-
business.
He can't thumb his nose at us
No.
and just get away with it.
No,
And even
man.
if it's,
Totally
even if we have
agree.
no teeth,
Totally agree. I'm upset with the fact that ultimately, here we are, mid-March, there's no bite to our close. Still needs to be done, 100%, has an effect, but it just doesn't have that really effective.
The only way it has any bite is if they really are planning on opening that business again at that location next winter. That won't happen until this stuff is all met. So unless he's planning on relocating his business yet again, which he might, I don't know what kind of character he is, I don't know. I don't know if his character dictates that he'll be a man of his word and
Unfortunately, I mean, I don't know which he you're talking about. Unfortunately, it would seem that it's the property owner that needs to follow through and not the guy that's running the business. That's how it seems.
No, correct. And, you know, again, for word of someone's vocalization of a promise, it's been stated since that last meeting that it will happen. It will be connected this spring, regardless of Mr. O'Brien's there or not. Peter Berry will connect that.
Mhm.
And that's what he's held that comment. Now, again, it's a word for right now, and I'm gonna take that for what it's worth. Again, just unfortunately, this business will be affected one way or the other. Again, I'm mad at myself for the fact that we, just didn't get that taken care of faster.
I don't know, I'm inclined to make some sort of recommendation or motion to the planning board that the sewer commission is aware that he's violated his CUP and we don't condone it. I don't know how else to.
I'll tell you, from conversation, obviously, one planning board member was in the same mind frame of it needs to effectively stop when we consolidated that thought the other day. Unfortunately, it hasn't been followed through.
I just think we gave him, I mean, and we're not the planning board, we're just part of this, but I think we as board and the planning board gave them quite a bit of leeway, considering everything was going about totally incorrectly.
That's putting it lightly. I think he opened an illegal business and we helped him keep it.
Yep.
And he didn't follow through with what he said he was gonna do.
And the unfortunate part is we still sit here a month later than that conditional use permit required, and we're still, every day that goes by, it's an allowance of, still that much more of an allowance, so.
So what do we do here? Are we making a recommendation? I mean, we don't have an application to do anything.
No, I mean,
so-
and we can't,
I would,
we as a board can't violate him on a CUP, that's not our job, but
I would say based, not necessarily a motion, obviously you don't need a motion, but it's consolidated recommendation that the conditional use permit hasn't been met per the sewer portion, sewer,
Okay, it's the
Agreement or-
application, 'cause there's no
the sewer recommendations
once.
as voted upon in the January 8th meeting haven't been met.
Recommendation.
And that was a unanimous vote, those recommendations. And the sewer commission does not condone the fact that he hasn't met his promises. I don't know what else to,
We all agree on that? Do you agree on that, Tom?
I do.
I don't know, maybe we should motion that we report that to the planning board.
Right.
Or at least the code enforcement officer.
Yeah, okay. So what you have written there, I make a motion that we report that to the code enforcement officer.
So I guess if you want to get technical on this conditional use permit, you could say that, page 4, section D, that states the conditions. And that says that, see attached letter from Rangeley's Water District and letter from sewer superintendent. The sewer commission will need a new sewer permit application submitted by February 8th, 2019, 2 months prior to the earliest hookup timeframe of May 1st, 2019. Also see the attached letter from Peter Perry, the property owner, as to his guarantee to hook up to both sewer and water in the spring of 19, per agreement with the sewer commission.
That we were supposed to receive documentation, stuff to look at
Correct.
by the 8th. I believe we gave him a month, yeah, because it was January 8th when we said that. So February 8th would have been a month and it's March 12th now.
Correct. So,
Do I have a second?
that wasn't met, and
She's looking for a second. That was a motion. You want her to read it back?
No, well,
The sewer commission recommends a report to the code enforcement officer that the recommendations from a prior meeting have not been met and do not condone, and I'll work in there, and if you don't condone it, I'll work in there, the page 4, section D of the CUP.
That haven't met
So
the
it's-
conditions yet.
second.
Yep.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor? And then it's up to the enforcement part of
Yep.
them to decide what it is they want to do with it.
Yep.
But at least we can know that, or I'm speaking for myself, at least I can know that we put something forth, we expected it to happen, and it's not just okay. All right, we all done with that?
I guess so.
Yeah? Chick Hill, snow's blowing, I saw it blowing the other day.
Snow is blowing, however, as Tom knows, we are running out of room rapidly at this point. We've crossed the 10 million gallon threshold, probably close by now, probably at closer to like 11. We have 3 guns shut down currently. Unfortunately, with the weather conditions, we can't run air, so you can't project that snow as far. So, we were shooting for 15 million. Unfortunately, probably won't be achievable this year, but we'll still be in good shape for a spring runoff, pending weather conditions cooperate. It's a slow process.
And
Obviously, well, warmer temperatures, but we have that warm, cold night situation, warm day, cold night. From there, we are in spring tune-up mode right now, so we've replaced the rotating rotating assembly at pump station 2 yesterday. Plan to today, was today, but probably tomorrow, is to go around and get the rest of them tuned up, adjusted, so the tolerances. Our operating conditions are optimal for the spring runoff to come. Anticipate, from 100,000 gallons a day to probably closer to 400,000, maybe even 500,000. Which brings me into this year's numbers. I'll judge off, but I'm gonna get it effective, hopefully an immediate action to get sump pumps offline as fast as we can. That's gonna be what cripples us with any kind of seasonal change here.
What are you, how are you gonna go about that?
I'm gonna, a couple of thoughts here, or one, we have an inspection, we have the inspectability of our ordinance allows us inspection of properties. So a couple of things here. One is, what I wanna do is send a letter out to realtors that state through any sale, obviously this is not, shouldn't be connected unless there's a permit in place, so, an agreement in place. One, and I guess aside from that, aside from doing a smoke test or something to prove whose drains are hooked up to the house, you're gonna have to go door to door and, send notices out and go door to door. And say,
What's a smoke test, Keith?
You, close off sections of your collection system, and you have a fan that mounts to the top of the manhole, and there's a chemical that generates smoke,
Mm-hmm.
and it comes back feeds through the system. And you'll see when that smoke comes out, if it comes through a stink pipe, your gutter system,
It'll go back through a trap?
back through a trap.
Really?
You don't know whose house is connected and who is and who isn't.
Was it force the water out of the trap
So yeah, essentially just
because of the pressure?
because of the pressure.
Oh, well. Interesting.
It's one way to test it for sure. Obviously, at the end of the day, to police it's going to be difficult. You can go to a residence and have them disconnect it, and nothing says that they won't reconnect it down the road. But
Well, I mean, you may have some luck because some people might not even understand what you're looking for.
correct.
I mean, you're not going to be dishonest. You're just doing a sewer inspection in the basement.
So we have to do that, and then part of it is by the numbers strictly, I can tell you that the influx and flow that we get after a power outage or a large rain event is ridiculous. That's a large amount of water that we don't need to treat. It would greatly help us in retention process up at the lagoon, so we don't have to worry about.
I would save energy costs.
Save energy
as well,
costs, you're looking at the ability of dealing with DEP, any kind of violation that could take place if you have a high precipitation year and, you can't spray for whatever reason, so.
It sounds like maybe an inspection house by house is the way to go.
It's gonna
And
happen.
then anybody that's found in violation, obviously tell them they gotta fix it, then have a re-inspection at some point.
Correct.
Right, and you can discount all the newer constructions. Well, I guess you can't because people can change it.
The other side of it is I have to take into consideration the town's code where where you direct that water. So some people have limited options in where they can run said sump pump or drain, so we have to obviously take that into consideration when we look at properties.
But that's something, that's part of what you're doing. I mean, you make a solution for whatever you find. We'll deal with that when we come to it, I guess.
So that's a project that will soon approach. Try to limit this update real quick. I'm sure as you've noticed, maybe you haven't if you've been up by Chick Hill at all, Sergeant has pulled out until end of April. So we got a little break up the plant, change a little quieter for the time being. With that, we're hoping that the spring comes slowly. The road is going to be rough travel in the spring for sure. So, but they've had every thing in line to come back and make all needed repairs and help as needed. So, aside from that, I think update wise, we continue just to again spring maintenance and chasing snowstorms as they come.
Do you have a total snowfall amount?
Yeah, I'm gonna get this, we are, about 115 inches probably.
15?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, what I did was, through that conversation, through Frenchie's 43 years of data, so this is off pump station 2 in town here. 43-year average is 122 inches. If you go off the last 20 years, it's 132 inches.
Really?
So it's, it's been a jump. Most significant, just a little fact here, I don't know if you write it down or not, but highest snowfall for a year recorded is 180 inches. Highest month is 73 inches, and that was December of like 07.
What year was the 108 inches?
Roughly it's 01 or 07.
When was that?
So then you look at this year, look outside this year, and obviously everybody thinks that, we have a above average winter or an abnormal winter, which technically, snowfall wise, we don't, but you look at pack snow,
We just kept it.
we kept it.
Yeah.
So you had that early thaw. We're very fortunate that we did have that thaw early, that December thaw, because if you take that 33 plus inches we got in November with what we have on the ground right now, it'd be considerably different. So roughly, there's roughly, in town, there's roughly between 25 and 35 inches of
That sounds
snow.
accurate looking around. Yeah.
So, with any luck, we have a small, we have a slow, gradual spring. Because if we don't, between what's in the backcountry and what we have in town, we're gonna be in trouble.
We're gonna be loving life.
On top of that, weather, I can just, cool little, thing I learned yesterday was, this fall, we will receive an award for 50-year weather observer or, I don't want to say reporter, but for the National Weather Service.
Observation.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, for the
Awesome.
National Weather Service, so.
Awesome.
Frenchie and Tom, obviously they contributed most of that data, but 50 years is, I didn't think we were that far into it.
Can you reach back this far as Tom and?
Not quite.
No.
Does Tom get a plaque?
I'll definitely invite Tom, because they're supposed to come up and present it, if he wants to come out and, I don't know
Nice.
how big of a, what the big celebration is, but I don't know how 50 years relates to anybody else that's been doing it, I don't know if that's a really large accomplishment, or if that's just like
Gotta be something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So obviously for them, that's, for the Weather Service, that's huge, because we've given them 50 years of data
Yep.
that they can pattern out how they're using.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
that's where we're
cool.
at, Tom. So that's where we come up with. I think we ended up with 40, I have the, right in the office, we ended up with 40, for 2018, 40 inches of precipitation, about average.
You realize we're gonna get like 2 more feet before it's said and done.
Well, I can tell you, what's scary? What did I did a 5 or 6 year average for March, and it's anywhere from 30 to 50 inches. That's not the average number, but that's what, you had one, like 2016, we were at this point right now, we were almost bare ground. But other than that, it was like, you were notorious for like 30 inches.
Sounds good. I know Tracy's excited for it. I've seen your rants.
She's offering free roof shoveling and.
Yeah, exactly.
If you need practice, come on over.
I'm over it.
Very good.
Well, good. All right, sewer connection compliance. We had some stuff written down and everything seems to kind of be in place. Spring's approaching. I don't know, you wanna go down through these bullets real quick? Just see where we're at on on the January 8th minutes. Have you,
Sure.
Absolutely.
Have we heard anything from anybody else, or is,
So I sent the 2 binding agreements, certified mail, to Rudy and the Kennebago Fly Shop, and neither one of them have gotten back to me. They both signed for them, so they've received it. They received it on January 9th.
okay,
So, I don't know, if it fell on deaf ears or, I don't know, neither one of them have reached out to contact with any questions or returned the signed agreement to me, so.
all right, do you wanna maybe do if they don't return that in, I don't know, shortly before next meeting, the April meeting, you wanna just try to get hold of them, cause we're, not that they're gonna do anything this spring, but,
Maybe they wanna come to the meeting and talk to us.
yeah, maybe they didn't like what they saw. I don't know.
Yes, other than that, I'll let her,
That's all I got, from just
Okay.
those 2. I haven't heard from anyone else.
I have nothing new from, I spoke with McMillan, that was just to see where he's at, water connection, well connection wise or water connection wise, and, you know, he's waiting for his plumber to get a meter and all that stuff, so.
He's what?
Waiting for a meter and everything, so, he's been super cooperative. Obviously Fontaine, we know already that, through the letter with Randy, that the spring. and
Yep, yeah, I see
Fly
the
shop in Davis.
letter from Kenny too.
Yeah, so I mean,
Okay,
there's- the intent's there anyway, so
Yep.
as we,
just check and see if anybody had called or said anything new.
I feel like there was something I wanted to say or something.
Sorry.
I think we're good.
All right, anybody else got any questions about compliance? Any new business? The ordinance stuff. Tracy wants to talk to us.
So, I was discussing with Ethan and Al, I think it'd be beneficial, and even these 2, maybe if anybody can talk to these 2, maybe give them an opportunity to look over the ordinance, and if you have any things that jump out at you that you think need corrected, can bring it a list to the next meeting so we can have an organized discussion. Otherwise, I think we're gonna be all over the place, and it's gonna be
Okay.
a bit confusing and muddy to try and take decent notes and get that forwarded on without losing stuff in translation, which is easy to do. I know it's a little bit of a homework assignment. but I
No,
think that
yeah,
would-
we were supposed to do it
I
last
think it
time.
would be a little bit more effective.
Okay.
So-
Yep,
Sounds
And I
good.
got the legal opinion from MMA, is included in your packet regarding the removal of
Yep.
the signing of the commitment, so that's just one piece.
yep,
And if there's anything else big that jumps out at you, I guess this would be as good a time as any to try and get it worded the way
yes,
you see fit. So. And also, as I was saying, the ordinance committee is overwhelmed right now, they all have a bunch of stuff, so, I mean, even though these are things that need to be addressed, there's nothing to say we can have a special town meeting to have the voters approved if we need to, or whatever, if we can't get it on the warrant, because it's getting to be kind of a time crunch to
Mhm.
get everything set the way it needs to be set, so, just try and get a good framework put together, and we'll take it from there.
okay. Could you do me a favor before next meeting?
Sure.
Could you try and get the agenda out because of what you're asking and because I forget stuff?
Sure.
Could you try and get the agenda out like a week before? If you could, or just, because then I'll remember in the minutes, then I'll remember in the minutes that I was supposed to do this, even though it's my responsibility to remember it, but I'll have a better chance of
Yeah, that's
getting
fine.
some information out of me if I have that ahead of time.
Absolutely.
All right, any other new business? No?
I'm gonna go with, nothing up until this budget passes, I guess we get through the budget process, you know, hopeful that we get a third operator back up there. That's kind of where, facility wise,
We have 2 elections coming up. John and
Is it Matt?
Matt, is it, it's not Tom, right?
Tom's for the water district.
Oh, I think it's John and Matt.
too, I mean, I can't even tell you, that's awful.
I think it's.
Yeah,
think
I know
that's-
John's one of them.
John and Matt.
I feel, you know, hopefully, it'd be nice if we could either get, I mean, obviously get the positions filled, if, you know, if they wanna draw papers and continue on, that'd be awesome too, we'd have that
Right.
continuity we still have, also you have right now.
They have till April 12th to get the signatures to be put on the warrant.
April 12th, okay, yeah, that was the next question,
They'll need
yeah,
to pick up a petition from either myself or Tricia.
okay. All right, if, no one picks one up before, you know, it's getting crunch time, you think you could send me a message or something, and I'll harass them a little bit and see what their intentions are, and if they're not, then we'll see if we can find someone, because it's a bear sometimes to get people to fill in.
That was a write-in, I think.
What's that?
And that was a write-in.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you have to talk them into accepting it.
Exactly.
I mean, not him, but
But
anyone that
anyone,
gets written in.
anyone, yeah.
Yeah. It's, if they take papers out, then you know
they've.
they've,
Down the list, too.
you-
I mean, if there's,
yeah.
everybody, if you got a dozen people that had 2 people who came in, you got
Right.
one of them.
actually, John might have been a write-in as well.
I don't remember for sure.
I think I was.
Yeah, I think you will.
You were, yeah.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah. And me and Al and I were both appointed,
Mhm.
the first time.
The first time, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I was elected.
I won't drag that out anymore. All right, the next selectmen meeting is April 9th. And the next sewer commission meeting is April 9th, and the next board of selectmen is March 18th. April.
Warm weather's coming around.
April what?
I was looking at
I
the
just
wrong
can't
one.
imagine how close
Yeah.
April already is.
Board of Selectmen 18, okay, gotcha.
Yep.
Sewer Commission.
All righty, nobody's got anything else? I motion to adjourn at 5:40.
Well, we went there.
Second that?
All in favor?
Aye.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Good meeting.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rich.